Welcome to Paint4Peace. My name is Jeff Sparr. I'm a self-taught artist and co-founder at PeaceLove, and today we're going to have some fun, create a little bit, and hopefully find some peace of mind, because I know that I could use some today. In thinking about today's topic, I kept gravitating back to the question that I seem to be asked most often. By kids, by parents, by people in the business world, and all different communities. And the question relates to mental health, which obviously has never been more relevant than it is today. And it's a simple question: what can I do? Well, it's a damn good question, which ultimately leads me to an open conversation about control. There's things that we can control, and there's things that we can't control. I think controlling or control makes us feel good as someone who suffers from OCD. There's a natural wanting to have things organized and in an organized fashion, which makes you feel more comfortable. When things are out of control, sometimes it can be overwhelming. Can make us anxious, can make us even scared. And in some cases, for people like myself who suffer from mental illness, we can lose control of our minds, which is a frightening and exasperating thing to actually lose control of your mind. But learning to accept that sometimes that we don't have control can be freeing. And in my case, when I paint, can be invigorating to my soul. And I think that's one of the reasons that I was drawn to painting, because it gave me, some of that peace of mind I'm so desperate for in my life. So, for many years I've been able to paint it better than I can say it. So I thought I'd use one of my own paintings to kind of start things off here. It's a painting I did many years ago, and it's called Getting Better. And you can see it's a series of 4 paintings, and it's become very important in the context of our work at PeaceLove, in that it symbolizes, and you'll see left to right, both the images of the man, of the bubbles, and the colors get brighter. And I liken that to recovery. It's hard work, it's difficult, there's ups and downs, but it is possible. And it's interesting, as I was thinking about it, whether it be recovery or painting, both of them are a process. A process that, at its best, sometimes allows us to be vulnerable. And with vulnerability, I think sometimes there's a pathway that allows us maybe the courage and the freedom to just be. Bottom line is, I can't control my illness. I have OCD, and the attacks, they come quick, they come fast, they come out of nowhere. I can't control them. It's like I got a sucker punch from the champ. So what do? I take it as best I can, and I move on. So instead, what I choose to do is to focus on what I can control. I can choose to exercise. I can choose to meditate. I can choose to do yoga. I can choose to do journaling. All things, in many cases, I do every morning before most people that are listening to this probably wake up. And I'll let you know a little secret. It's not an option for me. That's the way I think of it. God forbid I had cancer, and I don't think I would miss a chemo appointment. For me, it's something that I have to do. And then, of course, there's creativity. Which ultimately is the thing that gave me the most peace of mind, and that's what we're here to talk about today. It's my secret sauce, if you will, and I'd like to invite you here today to do it with me. Now, truth is that you already are probably doing it, and you don't even realize it. For those of you out there, some of you cook, some of you garden, some of you sing, maybe in the shower, some of you do poetry. They're all creative forms. We all have it in us. A lot of people don't think of themselves as creative. So today I'd like you to put on that hat and think of yourself as a creative. I certainly, given my background, would have never thought that I'd be an artist and a creative, and the way that I think of it, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So let's create together. And I'm going to give you one quick tip today before we start. This is the extra bonus one. Before we can take advantage of any of these things that we were discussing, whether it's singing or gardening or painting that help you, none of them can help you if you don't simply do it. So I hope you'll remember that and try. Do something. I don't care what it is. I'm not as naive to think that it's easy, but sometimes just in the attempt, I think you'll find some strength and hopefully some peace of mind. So let's get started. And as always, nothing changes every week. We start with no rules. So I'm gonna rip those up. Everybody knows how much that makes me feel good. No rules, throw them up as we always do. I didn't like the way that came out. Let's do that, take two. Maybe another cut. Okay, let's try that again. That's what I'm talking about. Now that's good. All right, except, as you know, make mistakes and have fun, because that's when real creativity comes at you. All right, so the next thing that we talk about every week is it all starts with an idea. You have to have some kind of idea, and today, my idea is to try to paint something that tells a story of how we can control things. And, I think back to my experience just this week. It was Tuesday of this week, and I had this incredible, exhilarating day of some wonderful things that happened both personally and professionally. And it was almost sandwiched between two different series of OCD attacks I had that really took the life out of me. And when you think about it, it's not fair. Having mental illness is certainly not fair. I won't lie to you, but it is what it is. But what's interesting is at the end of the day, after a long day, I decided I was going to create, because I know myself and I know my go-tos and what do I got to lose. So I started creating, and I went long into the night. And what was I doing? And creating is not just what I'm going to do here with you now, painting. For me, it's the process. And what does the process involve? It can involve themes, titles, colors, ideas. Where things go. And I'll actually, that evening, I laid out probably 10 different, things I was going to create. So that's the creative process. That's the zone that you get into when you create sometimes and find some peace of mind. I got up in the morning in my studio, probably 5:30 in the morning, and just kept going. And guess what? After that day of those attacks, I had a period of time where, I had access to my mind and I could create, and even if it was only for a little while. That's the kind of stuff that, I think invigorates, your soul and gives you the strength to move on, because as we said, it is a process, left to right, to get better. So one of the ideas that I had, and I'm going to start to paint that right now, is this notion of control. So I'm going to start, and I'm using, which I love to do, is these watercolor pencils, which then activate. And we've seen that before. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to paint my go-to guy. Okay. Here he is, I'm putting a suit on him. And here's what I'm thinking on this topic of control. You know, I kind of got him, you know, with his arms, and he's kind of, I don't look at words, he's kind of locked up almost, but then I'm gonna take out, you've seen me do this before, watercolor, just a normal paintbrush. I'm gonna activate that paint. And what that does, it gives him a little bit of movement. Because this guy's kind of, he's not able to do what he wants to do maybe, so I'm not gonna let him flow too much. I'm gonna keep him like that. And then I'm gonna add a little color. I'm gonna use these pastels, which I like to do. And I'm gonna use my hands. I love to paint my hands. I mean, it's freeing. I feel it, the texture of it, there's something there. And you do it, don't worry about anything. I'm gonna put a little red. And I'm gonna add a little brown. Not exactly sure what I'm doing here, but I'm kind of liking that. Remember, don't be scared to make any mistakes. You'll never see me painting. You'll never see one of these in my studio. This is an eraser. That's gone. Line doesn't look straight. Guess what? You're not gonna see a ruler in my studio. All right, so I'm gonna add a little more red. Then I'm gonna get my hands and, oh man, that feels good. All right. More. Sometimes just the movement of it feels good. All right. This guy's starting to evolve. Whew, that was good. I'm gonna add a little color to his suit. And anybody that follows me and knows my art knows I love fashion. I got a passion for fashion. So I'm going to some fashionista colors. And today I'm gonna use one of these oil pastels, which are so fun. You can look at these things. These are jumbo ones. When you're doing big work like this. And watch this. Okay, get that suit going. All right. Okay, I'm gonna add a black tie. I think that'll look good on him. All right, maybe I'll put that in his hat. Chapeau as well. All right, a little color on my face. Gonna go back to the pencil with some outlines. And you can get to see that, his hands together. All right, so here's my first guy. And he ain't doing much, you know. This guy ain't painting. This guy ain't gardening. This guy ain't cooking. Now let's go to the other guy. Here we go. Same pencil, same guy, but watch what happens. Now this guy is all about doing it. And you can see he's moving, man. He's on his way out. I'm gonna take my thing. You know what I thought I'd do? I know this might look like a Sharpie or a pen, but this is actually a Twizzler. And I love Twizzlers, so I'm gonna use a little Twizzler while I do this. Problem is, you can't just eat one of these, but we'll try. All right, so, there we go. Now this guy, gotta make sure you hydrate and take care of yourself. Got some water in here. All right. Now, get some movement. If you remember, just take a Kleenex, take a tissue, napkin, anything, your sleeve. Look at this. Now, seems like a little thing, but a lot of symbolism there. This guy is stage right. He's on his way. And I think I've got to give him some kind of I'm not gonna give him some dark color like this guy. I'm gonna give him some nice bright blue that I found in my studio. Yeah, look at that. Matching hat. Watch this, get my fingers out. This stuff gets really messy. It's beautiful. If you got a t-shirt or a thing, it's nice to go like this. Okay. This guy is on the move. I don't know, how about a red, what do you think about a red tie? I don't know if that goes, but that's pretty cool. Like that. And, color this guy's face, so he's getting there. Now, all right, now I gotta add a little color to him. Now, this pastel I used was kind of boring and, chalky. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back and I just thought of something I'm gonna add to this guy. Watch this. Probably wonder what I'm doing. Just a few strokes and watch what happens. Now, I decided to put him behind the brick wall. I liked him before, now I really like him, and I love the notion of the brick wall, and I just came up with that because he's kind of backed up against the wall, which makes sense in the context of him, not doing. So, put a little black in there. You can see, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And that's when the fun and games begin, when you can get to that place. But you can never get to that place if you don't start and you don't try. So if you remember nothing else from Paint4Peace today, the act of doing and just trying is winning. Okay, now we're gonna go over to my other guy, and I'm gonna create a little more motion. I'm taking some more of these oil pastels. Wow, is this a mess, huh? Better wash my hands before I go home. All right, watch this. I got an idea here. I'm even getting up out of my seat a little bit. You know I'm getting into it when this stuff's going on. Look at this. And I'm just, now I'm having fun. I'm taking some red, yeah. Some fun with some red there, and let's put a little of this. Might not look like anything yet, but watch what happens. I'm about 30 seconds away from, okay. All right, now watch. Look at this guy. I don't know where he's going, man, but he's going somewhere. He might be going to paint, maybe he's heading out to the studio, maybe he's going to a yoga class, maybe he's going to meditate, maybe he's going to a poetry class, I don't know. But see, now you see he's a little smudged up here, but I kind of like that. That's the look that I'm trying, and I'm actually doing that by just kind of by freewheeling. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little, use that black, give it a little definition. Okay, I'll smudge that in a little bit. Okay. Winston Churchill used to say, you got to step away from the canvas every once in a while, take a look. So I'm going to do that. Okay, actually, oh, I made a mistake there. Give me a hand. But, that's tough to fix. Look at that. Had the hat going the wrong way. Nothing like a mistake. There you go. I wasn't worrying about that. It's funny. I got OCD, right? I worry about the most ridiculous stuff. But here I am painting live. I make a mistake. I could care less. As a matter of fact, it felt pretty goddamn good. All right. All right, we're almost done. All right. All right. I think we're there. The only thing that's missing is my last thing, which is, I say every week, if you don't like your own work, nobody's gonna like it. My favorite artist is me. Just kidding. Sign with pride. taking out my Sharpie, and there's my signature. And one of my favorite things is giving my paintings a name. Sometimes I back into it. The name of this painting, I'm gonna call this Moving Forward. All right, good, bad, and different. We had getting better before, now we have moving forward. Let me pick that up and show you that. So at the end of the day, what's the lesson there? You know, there's things that we can control and there's things we can't control. For my vote, spend your time and focus on the things you can control and try to do things in the creative realm. Creativity, you know, changed my life, it could change yours. As always, thanks for joining me today. When we share our art and we share our stories, we make it a little easier to not only talk about, but to support, you know, mental health. As I've said before, creativity changed my life. I think it could change yours. Have a great day and see you next week. Thanks.